Starting our tests in a dark room with just the glow coming from our computer monitors, and it does perform much better than I was expecting. There is a lot of grain around us, but we can be seen clearly, and when we turn those monitors off, then we can still be seen, but not as clearly, which I suppose is to be expected. The grain in the background is noticeably worse, but you can get away with this if you just want to make a quick video call with someone. Sitting next to the window and having natural light coming in, and it does look decent, but we are overexposed on the side of our face. Now this does come with a backlight compensation button, which has 7 different levels of compensation. Whilst not completely perfect, it does greatly improve that overexposure we are experiencing. As well as it being a 4K webcam, there is also the option of 1080p with an unfamiliar 40 frames per second, but we did find that this performs really well with movement looking fluent. This becomes more obvious when you put the 4K and the 1080 side by side, with the 4K looking quite jerky at its 30 frames per second. Using ring lights in front of us, and again we are washed out, although we've probably got our lights on a little high. Using the backlight compensation button on top once again brings a much better looking image. We do still have some noise and pixelation happening in the background, and if we move our hand towards the lens then there is a change in the light, so be mindful of that. Again at 1080p at 40 frames per second, it is going to deliver some pretty fluent movement. There is a very slight warp to the sides of the image too, with it bending inwards. Switching on some coloured backlights behind, and this actually helps with the exposure on our face, with it delivering a very good looking image. This has a huge 95-degree field of view, so a lot of your background will be on display. You can bring the webcam closer to yourself, and this helps close things up a little, but you may notice that we've gone slightly blurry. This is due to this having a manual focus lens, so you will need to configure this yourself. It's also worth mentioning that the microphone will pick up when you are moving that lens around. This means that if you are bringing something close to the lens, then you will lose the focus, but it will be in focus when it is further away. Adjusting the focus yourself will allow you to get extremely close with an object and for it to look very good. Removing a green screen in OBS performed well for us, and do remember that you have that backlight compensation button on top to play around with if your green screen is lit too brightly or dimly. It comes with dual microphones, and these can be disabled on top if required, and straight out of the box this is what it sounds like. This is a microphone test using the Creative Livecam Sync 4K. This is recorded directly through OBS. You can install the Smart Comms kit from Creative, and what this allows you to do is enable voice detect, noise clean out and noise clean in. And this is what it's going to sound like with noise clean out enabled and with the vacuum cleaner on the go behind us. And with the vacuum cleaner on the go next to us, we've enabled the voice detect, and this is what it sounds like when we're speaking and when we stop. These settings can be manually configured to fine-tune it to suit your own environment, and manually adjusting your camera image settings is also possible through this software too. But is this better than the previous model from Creative? Hit the video on screen to find out.